So, all right, welcome everybody.
Hey.
I see a 3x3 grid, so it reminds me of Brady Bunch. So welcome everybody. I love the theme that Brooke sent out. And I think it's very apropos because it also goes hand in hand with Lucille's speech as well. And so it'll be fun to see what kind of things Jerry has going on too.
So what is the theme?
The theme, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to have Brooke explain. Welcome. Help me welcome Brooke, everybody.
Well, thank you. Happy Friday, everyone. And thank you, Deanna. So today, the theme is power of intention and commitment. And this was Jerry. This is all Jerry. I'm so happy that we're doing this because it really resonates with me, especially this week. And the word of the day is intention. And that is a thing intended, an aim or a plan. So, for me, I think as I've gotten older, I've really tried to, hone in my intentions. And I feel like intentions help us align ourselves and what we need to do to manifest our goals. And something personal to me is I have kind of recently decided to take my career in a different direction. And I've been like manifesting it and deciding like, okay, what kind of job, what kind of career. And this week I was lucky enough to have a new job offer. And so I'm going to be in a whole new career field in some ways. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to now introduce the roles and who we have that's filling them. And then today we have the R counter is going to be Tammy, and she'll also be Joke Master. Then grammarian, we have Stacey. Devin is timer. The general evaluator was Paul, but he's going to be a little bit late. So we've got Deanna stepping up. And we got Lucille as our one and only speaker, and Jessie will be evaluating her. And we have Jerry doing table topics today. So really excited. It's going to be fun, but it's definitely a small crew. I think it's the smallest crew I've seen of all of us since I've began. So it'll be fun. Tammy, are you ready for your joke?
Sure.
Okay, if everyone wants to unmute.
Okay, here goes. A boy with a monkey on his shoulder was walking down the road when he passed a policeman who said, now, young lad, I think you had better take that monkey to the zoo." The next day, the boy was walking down the road with the monkey on his shoulder again when he passed the same policeman. The policeman said, "Hey there, I thought I told you to take that monkey to the zoo." "I did," the boy answered. "Today I'm taking him to the movies."
Very good.
Good.
Great one. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce our one and only speaker, Lucille. I'm really excited about this one because this is the first time she's actually going to be doing this speech to us. So her speech is going to be 6 to 8 minutes long. The title is Your Financial Advisor Truly Independent? And this is for her path of strategic relationships, level 1, project free researching and planning. And her personal objectives is to present a speech without prior practice and within their allotted time, and also to close with a call of action. So everyone help me welcome Lucille.
Thank you, Brooke. Picking a financial or investment advisor is not easy. Even a CFP, a certified financial advisor who market as free only, are actually compensated by commission from product providers. That setup could bias their advice. Even if their statements are not purposely misleading, financial advisors can sometimes make terms confusing to the public. So let's consider so many terms that advisors often use, such as fee only, fee based, RIA, independent. I'll have more on the fee only and fee based another time. Let's focus on the word independent. So an average person would think independent advisors are free to make whatever recommendation they believe is for the best interest of their clients. However, a financial advisor are only independent when it comes to being paid for advice. A financial advisor or a financial advisory firm that is part of a broker dealer or an insurance agency is not an independent advisor, because they have guidelines and limitation of what product and strategies they can talk to you about. So case in point, I want to share with you when I first started as a financial advisor, because I had an experience that I thought I was an independent advisor. I went to join early on in my career in a firm called Independent Capital Management. And I thought to myself, okay, that is an independent firm. Come to find out that that company is part of a mutual fund company called SunAmerica Securities, that they offer mutual fund themselves. So in the second year that I'm there, come to find out that SunAmerica is now bought by AIG Insurance, a very large insurance company. So my independence to offer financial advice and investment advice to my clients have severely been limited by what they're putting in place. So for any thinking person would agree that when your advice is dictated by a product provider, you are not independent to what you do for your clients and the advice that you give to them. So there's a bias involved. So I was not happy about that. So I decided to change to a different firm called National Planning Corporation. They are actually an independent broker dealer. So I thought to myself, okay, that should be good. That's an independent broker dealer. They don't have an insurance product that they own themselves. And that would be a way to have an independent. And they were actually pretty good when it comes to that. They did not push any products that, as an advisor, we can offer to the client. We have a freedom to pick whichever mutual fund companies that we can provide, or whichever, of course, stocks, individual stocks are often not part of a firm. So we are able to do that. But then come to find out after a while, they are actually part of a very huge insurance company again. So my thought of being an independent advisor has again been limited by what we can offer and what they're pushing us to do. And being part of that company, we also have quota. So I did not feel like I was an independent advisor at all. I feel like a salesperson. And that did not hold true for my belief to be able to give advice to the clients for their best interests. And that made me decide to move out of any firm that has a broker dealer, and that stayed away and decided that I will become my firm as an independent registered investment advisor directly to the state as well as the SEC, and then also be myself as part of Finances for Life. I, as a licensed advisor, is an independent investment advisor representative of Finances for Life. So with that, how can you tell if your advisor is independent, qualified, fee only? I'll share with you where you can find out, and I'll use myself as an example, but let me first show you from my search randomly. Can you see the screen? Yes, okay. So this is a firm that I just kind of look at randomly and look GFH Financial. And how you can tell that they are part of a broker dealer is you will see over here a broker dealer check FINRA. And at least, and if you go at the very bottom, you can tell just from the website that this particular company or firm offers their securities through LPL, which is a very large broker dealer. At least this particular person had said that this is the advisor. So he is a CFP, but he is actually also in a commission. So let me unshare that. Oops, stop sharing. So where can you go to find out? Oops, hang on. Oh, goodness. Oh, I can actually do that again. Hang on. I'll just need to move. So this is where it's called a broker check. So I'll use myself as an example. So if you find Lucille Shaw, thank you, I see the yellow. And you go, I'm going under individual. You'll see myself here. Finances for Life is the firm. I was previously a registered broker because I was with Sun America Securities. And you can see here that there's no disclosure. Disclosure, if any type of criminal or financial, it will be there. And I have 13 years as far as the Finances for Life. And if you go in the firm, I'm sorry, just go back. And if you click on that one, more details, it will show you my record where I've been. So with that, that's the way to check it out. And what makes me different? My firm makes sure that has a ADV that I give to the clients. Those are the brochure that we present to the client when they become a client for us for managed account. That brochure allows you to see exactly what you're seeing when I showed it to you. We also make sure that the clients have a way of having their IPS investment policy statement. That's the guidelines of what we do for them when we do the investment for them and when we put the portfolio together. So that what makes us different. We are independent, registered directly with the state as well as the SEC. And what you can do if you have not have any advisor yourself, please give me a call, or you can go to the website and make a register and make something. Or I offer a 30-minute free consult. That's the way for you to find out how we work together and whether you're a good fit for us and whether we are a good fit for you. So I hope you will take advantage of that. It's free and it is much less expensive than you think to have your actual personal investment advisor or financial planner, as opposed to that somebody that you don't know from a broker dealer firm. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was awesome. I learned so much. Thank you. That was great. Thank you so much. Okay, I am going to give everyone 1 minute for some evaluations. Lucille, if you could provide your email address. So everyone, if you want to send it in the chat or email Lucille, that would be great.
Was Megan talking?
Megan, you're on mute.
Sorry. Lucille, I'm sorry. I don't have the agenda, so I don't know what were your goals for that speech.
I emailed it earlier. I'll send it to you.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm not that computer literate.
Okay, so Devin, can I get does she qualify and what time? Can I get a time report?
So Lucille was overtime at 10 minutes, 6 seconds.
Deanna, I forgot to put my own timer.
Guess that you can do that again next time.
Yeah. And then I am now going to introduce our general evaluator, which is Deanna. So go ahead, Deanna.
Thank you, Brooke. And our evaluator today for Lucille is Jessie. And so please help me welcome Jessie.
Okay, thanks everybody. Great job, Lucille. Excuse me. I really enjoyed that a lot. Of course, I love finances. And I thought you had excellent eye contact. You kept looking into the camera, which was great. It made us feel like you were really connected with us. And your definitions were fantastic with what you were presenting to everyone. It's a really difficult topic, you know, financial awareness. And I thought your clarity was very good. You have such great speech. You say hardly any ums and ands. And of course, you were very well researched because you've been doing this for several years and it shows, you know. The only thing I could see that maybe to work on a little bit would be in the very beginning, I would like to have had you open with telling us a little summary of what you were going to tell us exactly and why. And then you might challenge yourself. The visuals were great, and you just, you know, might be able to smooth those out a little bit. But you did a fantastic job, especially, you know, when you said you didn't have any prior preparation or any prior rehearsal. That was amazing, and you weren't within the time, but your call to action was fantastic, inviting people for a 30-minute consult. Thank you.
Jessie, that was great feedback. Yes, everything that Jessie said, I agree with. Okay, so can I get a timer's report? Did Jessie qualify and what time?
Jessie did qualify at 1 minute, 24 seconds.
Awesome. Okay, so now it's time for our table topics, and I am going to introduce Jerry as our table topics master. So let's welcome Jerry.
Thank you, Brooke. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the power of intention. I have a quote that I wanted to share with people, and I wanted to put it on the screen. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we can read it together. See how that goes. It didn't go the way I thought it would. Try that again. Oh, here it is. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. There's a quote that a lot of people have probably seen this before. It's in, you know, it's used in a lot of motivational classes. People talk about it. It's by William H. Murray. William H. Murray was a explorer. He climbed Mount Everest. He was in a prisoner of war camp during World War II, and he did a lot of adventurous things after the war. He became a explorer, and he had a quote that says, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The chance to pull back, chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elemental truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. And so this is kind of the theme of the day, is to talk about committing to things. Example of this in my own life, I wrote a book a number of years ago, and I really didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I just said, hey, I want to do this. And I met all kinds of people that helped me to do it, and helped me with information and publishing and all kinds of things. So whenever we want to do something with our career, or if you want to get married, or you want to travel, or whatever it is, you set an intention, and then things happen that help you out along the way. And some of this is from your own initiative, but some of this is the synchronization of the world, the universe, the serendipity of events. So that's really what I think he's talking about in this quote. So what I wanted to do was to get your comments on the quote, but also to see if there's an example from your own life when you've committed to doing something, you've set a goal, and maybe how the level of commitment too, because a lot of people kind of, they're like, I'm going to try this. They don't really go all in. And I think what he's talking about in the quote is going all in. So if you have an example from your life, I'd like you to share that. And I'm going to really ask the same question to everybody, is to comment on it. If you don't think it's a legitimate, the world doesn't work that way, you can comment on that too. But it's kind of the way I see that. A lot of people don't understand this, that success is related to your level of commitment. When you go all in, generally you'll get there because you do whatever it takes. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. I did want to recommend a book before I get started, which is called The Power of Intention. I don't know, people may have read that. It's by Wayne Dyer. Really a great book. It's kind of a classic in that field. And the other thing I would say that kind of explains this, well, I didn't really understand this for a while. Nike has this, their motto, which is just do it. And I think that falls into this thing in terms of when we want to do something, just start it, just do it. Just begin, and then everything kind of falls in place. So let's start off. Let's have Devin give us her input. Maybe where has this would apply in terms of your level of commitment and doing something in your life or making changes. Where is this applied, or give us an example or any thoughts you have on it? Thank you.
So I would say I totally agree with this philosophy. And we have a business coach that had us do an exercise, which were 10 once in 10 years. And I know the first time I did it was very challenging to kind of think that broad and really write down things that I had really kind of secretly been wanting, but never really, put the intention out there. And I would say one of those that I did put on the list was I wanted to own a home one day. And I would say in Southern California, I wrote it down, but I feel like I didn't really believe it would happen until about a year ago, when I really made it a commitment and started working on getting my finances in shape and figuring out, what are the actual steps I would need to do to make this happen. And I'm very excited to say that I closed on my house on April 1st, and I am now a homeowner. So I do think there is power in setting those goals and keeping them at the forefront. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Devin. I was trying to close the screen share. I don't know quite how to do that. I don't know. Does anyone know? Just stop share, I guess. Oh, here it is. I got it. That's better. Okay. Next person. Let's see. Megan, can you give us an example in your life where you've set an intention and been able to follow through on it, or how this has worked for you, or any input you have about the quote or how things work? Megan. Unmute, please.
Thanks for that question. I think that I have had many, and I have had just many goals that I have tried to that I have reached in my life. And mainly, I guess my main intention was to finish high school after, my coma and brain injury in 11th grade of high school. That was my ultimate intention, was to finish high school. And then I finished college. So I totally agree. If you have put everything, yourself into it, then I think that you can't you can't not achieve it if you put everything into it. And and being in California, I see that is what the definition of an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur has to go 100% into it, just like on Shark Tank. Hi, thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Okay. Tammy, can you give us an example from your life, how you've used the power of intention or maybe change your situation over the years, or any comments you have about maybe the quote or anything
Sure.
you'd like to say about that?
Sure, thank you. I love the part of the quote that said, the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves. Because I feel like that's so, so true of all of us. In my life, when I try to tackle something or I'm thinking about tackling something, I'm always tentative at first, and I've questioned that in the past, but I've found that it's just because I want to make sure that the goal that I'm going after is truly something that I want, and I'm doing it for the right reasons. So I tend to do quite a bit of research to make sure that what I'm wanting to go after is really true in my heart. And an example is right now I'm embarking on a huge career change. I worked in corporate marketing previously, was laid off during the pandemic, and did a lot of soul searching. And I am currently doing school to become a health coach, which is completely different from marketing. I'll be able to use my marketing skills, but it's been quite the difference. So I did an incredible amount of research, and then have been needed to be very intentional and committed. And one way that I've done that is I've structured my days and my weeks so that I'm working on my school at certain times and my other goals at other times, to make sure that I'm keeping my eye on the ball, making decisions about whether I'm going to build my own business or how I'm going to do that, and the marketing that goes into it. And so that's an example of how I would view intention. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Very good. Jesse, could you give us your take on how the power of intention or the quote affects you, or your thoughts on it, or maybe an example from your life of when you've set a strong goal and committed to it? Can you unmute, Jesse?
Sure. Thank you. The power of intention. It's always my intention to do the best job I can with anything I'm doing. And it gives a great big motivation in my life if I can go ahead and commit. And I think that's a lot of what the quote was talking about. You go ahead and commit, and then things fall into place a lot better. One of the things I committed to a couple of months ago was giving a speech for Holly Mignosi, which some of you know, in her Speakers Week. And it was live, and it was timed, and it was to be prepared and by a certain format. And I didn't feel prepared at all. But because I committed to it and I had that intention to follow through, things came together, and I felt like I had a nice big breakthrough in just doing it, regardless of how great it was. And I thought it came out pretty well. And Megan was there. Thank you. And so I will always want to have intention and commitment. And I think that's really important in any endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, Stacy, can you give us an example from your life or any thoughts you have on the quote or how you've used the power of intention, maybe to make a change or do something, in your life?
Yes, I can. Thank you. I have had intentions for many things over the years, and when I go back to moving to California, that intention was so strong that for about 3 years, all I could think about is I'm moving to California. I want to go. I want to go. I want to move. And I visualized it in my mind, and visualization is a big part of the intention. And I'm out here. I've been out here for maybe 34 years, I think now, ended up staying. And there's been other intentions. I intended to buy a house, so I bought a house as well. And I really believe in the power of intention, in the power of visualization. And if you want something, that's what you really need to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay. Angel, I see your picture there. How are you doing? Can you give us, I don't know when you came on, but I shared a quote and
I saw it.
oh, okay.
Great
We're talking
quote.
about the power of intention and how people set a goal or intention and then commit to it and how that works. Can you give us an example from your life of where you've used that or what your thoughts are on that
Well,
process?
thank you for that question, Jerry. I definitely, and you know that I have a good example of this because I wanted to move to the US for such a long time. And when I came on an exploratory thing, my intention, thank you, Stacy, was to bring up awareness of my yoga method that I had created that was hitting quite hard in England. I wanted to expand it. And people did. They just jumped forward out of the woodwork. I was put on a TV show, a couple of radio shows. They even called me in England after I got home and had me guest on a show in New York. And it was bad, really, because I was unprepared. I did not have a website, I did not have a book out. They all found that very refreshing, but it meant that all I could do was offer my email address for people who were interested. And it didn't build after that as much because I didn't commit to it, but I had to put all my effort into committing to come to live here. And that was certainly quite a lot of obstacles thrown up as well. But then again, people who step forward, things that happened, if you really put your foot down and you have the energy and the fortitude, the determination, I think success comes to people that just won't give up. I'm not really one of those people. I can kind of give up. I'm quite good at it. My mother always said, "Oh, you're giving up before we've even started." And in my fitness and wellness, I looked at people's knees. If you have the kind of knees that hyperextend and give way under stress, then likely that your personality is the same. If you have tight hamstrings, strong knees, if you run, you're probably someone who doesn't give up because your karma is the same way. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. So good luck to you all with that.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's important not to quit. A lot of people quit, short of their intention or their goals. So that's always something to keep in mind.
Right.
Paul, I'd like to I'm asking everybody the same question about the quote, which was about intention and about, what are your thoughts? Can you give us an example from your life of maybe something you've accomplished or how this has worked for you or any thoughts on the power of intention?
Sure. Thanks, Jerry. I think I would be a really good case study for the power of intention because I think I mentioned this on my table topics last week. I had always the intention to get my MBA, always had that intention, and life kept getting in the way. There was a couple of things. One, kids get in the way big time. There was never time. There was always an excuse with the kids. Second thing was money. There are a lot of MBA programs that you can spend $100,000. I was like, I'm not going to spend $100,000 on an MBA. Just no way. So that was also an issue. And then another issue was geography. At the time, Cal State San Marcos had one, San Diego State had one. I was like, I don't really want to drive an hour away to San Diego State for classes. I was just being lazy, just didn't want to. So I always had the intention, but I never had the ability to follow through. I just was like, there's always an excuse. And I finally got around to it. Now there's online programs, and there have been online programs. They're a lot more accepted. I'm happy I did that, to do an online program. It took me 2.5 years. But it's a perfect example of having the intention for like 15 years, doing absolutely nothing about it. And then finally getting off my duff and saying, look, I found a program. It's going to put me about $15,000 in the hole. Not too bad. I can do that. Worth the return on investment. And I'm very happy I did.
Thank you, Paul. Okay. We have a little extra time, so I think I'll keep going through people. Deanna, it's the same question. How has that the power of intention affected you, or how do you think the quote has, or give us an example from your life of something you've done that how that's played out.
Thank you, Jerry. What a great topic. It brings me back to several years ago when I joined Amway.
Hey, Amway was big.
That probably brings back some memories from some of you old timers. I was approached to being a distributor for this company, and I had the intention of wanting to be financially independent, and I wanted it so badly. I didn't know what to do, but being a part of that program really helped me to understand goal setting and how important it is. I had a really good support team, and they told us how to keep our dreams alive and how to post pictures, how to visualize, how to do positive affirmations, and breaking all those goals down, the big goal, into smaller chunks. So that big goal got reduced down to, what can I do yearly? What can I do monthly? What can I do weekly? What can I do daily to help me to accomplish that goal? And I can say that by having that intent, it really helped to keep me focused. And by doing those goals, I was able to reach a pretty significant level called a direct distributor. And what that meant was getting a free trip to the head corporation and making, X amount of money a month. It was short-lived, but I was excited that I reached that goal. And it's a good life lesson. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanna. I think we got time for one more. Brooke, I know you're the Toastmaster, but would you like to answer the question and tell us a little bit how the power of intention has affected your life?
Yeah, well, thank you. And I know that I kind of mentioned earlier talking about it, that setting intentions for me has worked over the years, especially this past week. This past couple of weeks, I have been thinking about I need a different career path, or I just need to get out of the one that I'm currently in. So I, been thinking about it for quite a while, for a couple of months. But at the beginning, I had a lot of negativity around it. And it wasn't until the past month that I really began to pluck up that courage and put myself out there and, just be confident. And it's definitely helped. And on Wednesday, I got a job offer. So I'm really excited to be moving into this new field, into a great company. It's going to be something a little bit different, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I think just being positive around your intentions really helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay. Maybe we could have time for one more, since we didn't have two speakers. Lucille, I want to give you the same question. I know you were the speaker, but could you tell us a little bit how that's played out in your life when you use the power of intention, and what you thought about the quote?
Thank you, Jerry. The power of intention, I've always have it within me. And just to share again, with being a financial advisor with a big mutual fund company, sorry, I said after the second year there, I was always wanted, after the first year, I was my intent to get out because I did not want to be, I want to have the freedom to give advice coming from a medical field where you actually don't have the sales thing that you need to go. You consult with your patient and you give them the solutions that they need after you find out what's wrong with them. That's not the case when I was with. So that was my intention, but it took me quite some time to actually have the courage to get that intention and put it into action and registered my own firm directly through the state. And that was a lot of work and I did it myself. There was a lot of regulations that I have to fulfill. And I have to make sure that even now, every year, there's regulatory standards and certifications that I have to do and requirements that I have to do. And it happens around first quarter of the year. So that's a very busy just for as far as regulations and requirements are concerned for being a fiduciary. So thank you for that question.
Thank you, Lucille. Okay. I think that kind of wraps it up for table topics. I did want to make a short announcement. I know we're going to be going back to in-person meetings fairly soon. I had an intention to move eventually closer to where my daughter and my grandkids are, and I've actually moved up to the San Francisco Bay Area. So I've been up here for about a month and a half. So I probably won't be coming back too often to see you guys in the actual meetings, but the Zoom ones I can go to. And then also I will come back to San Diego occasionally. I do have to come back for my real estate business, but it has been great being with you, but I probably won't be seeing you as often in the future. So I want to turn the meeting back over to Brooke, and I appreciate all the support and the people in the meeting.
Great. Wow, that's amazing. I'm really glad that you get to be with your family, especially right now. Okay, so Devin, can I get a timer's report?
Everyone was on time except for Deanna, who was a little over.
Can I get Stacey, did everyone say the word of the day?
Yes, they did. And Lucille said it like 4 times. I love it.
Great job, everyone. Okay, so now we are going to vote. Well, actually, I guess we can't vote on the speaker because that was Lucille and Jessie. So if we can vote on the table topics. And then Tammy, when you are ready, if you want to give us our counter report.
Sure. I observed those. If I don't mention your name, it means I didn't hear an or an or an and or a but. As I'm saying Lucille, during your speech, I didn't hear anything. During table topics, I heard one Jerry, no ums, ands, buts during the main portion of the table topic. Toward the end, when you were telling us about your personal journey, I heard several ums and buts there. Devin, 1 and, Jessie, 2 ands, Angel, 1 and, Deanna, 3 ands.
Great, thank you, Tammy. And then Stacey, can we get a grammarian report?
Yes, you may. I heard Jessie use the words clarity and motivation. Jerry said serendipity, that you don't hear that one very often. Megan said entrepreneur. Tammy, embarking was a good word. Angel jumped out of the woodwork, and determination and karma. And Deanna was goal setting, which you don't hear every day, but that's a good one. So that was what I heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacey. And then now I am going to ask Deanna for the general evaluators report.
I'll do part 1 and I'll share the stage with Paul so Paul can, no, not at all. You'll do the second part. the first part I observed, I messed up because I should have had Jesse do the mission statement. So I apologize for that. And I would say I was happy to see that Tammy also volunteered to be an odd counter at the last minute. So thank you for that. It's good when people jump in and do more than one role. So kudos for you being joke master for the first time and being odd counter today. Woohoo! Good job with that. And I also love the table topics. Paul, you wanna go in?
I'm going to steal your thunder. I thought the table topics were great, Jerry. I love the quote. I like that everybody had the opportunity to answer the quote in the way that it affected them or touched them, especially with the power of intentionality. So I thought that was really good. Well done. And I love that they got everybody involved, even the speakers. Yes, I love that. There's only 11 of us today, but when I looked at that long list of people to choose, I was like, geez, everybody did such a good job. I don't know who to choose. So good job. Enjoyed the meeting. Thanks, Deanna.
Well, thank you, Paul and Deanna. And now please give a drum roll for the winner. And that is Tammy. First time.
Wow.
Great job, Tammy. You did a great job today. Okay, well, thank you everyone for today. I do actually want to mention while I'm here that my interview procedure that I've been going through was kind of lengthy, and I had to interview with a lot of people. And I had to, people would ask me questions, and I mentioned I was in a Toastmasters class, and everyone was so surprised, and they were like, oh, that's really awesome. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Yay!
And now I will pass the meeting over to Deanna. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
I love that, Brooke. That's an awesome story, and congratulations on your new job. I can't wait to hear more. Can't wait to hear more about it. I'm sure there's some speeches in there too. So fantastic. Megan, you're raising your hand. You want to unmute yourself?
Along with Jerry, I was wondering, well, when you meet physically in Heritage Hall, would you also still meet on Zoom?
That's a good question.
It's a really good question.
If somebody
I don't
has
know.
a good cellular plan, maybe,
What's that?
right? If somebody has a good cellular plan, like unlimited.
The challenge is that there's no like Wi-Fi at the Heritage Hall.
Right. So if you have a good cellular plan, like let's say you have T-Mobile and it's actually decent over there, I'm just making this up. If you do, and we could set up a tripod and stream it, yeah, that could work. But that's the challenge.
Do it from a phone with data from a phone.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of data.
Another option is to have a hybrid. In other words, meet, certain times physically, and then a certain times.
That's right.
A Zoom, maybe like every other week or whatever, like every third Friday on Zoom, or every fourth. Yeah, that would do that. That would be.
Yeah, I think that's a better possibility than having the in-person meeting with the Zoom, because people are going to have a hard time hearing if we don't have mics, and I think that'd be really difficult.
And one good thing, I was just gonna say, one good thing about that for the hybrid, we don't have to change our bylaws. They're allowing that to do that, so that makes it easier. The club, I'm talking about the club bylaws.
I did hear from another club that are going to do it, and they said they were just going to put a laptop in front of the lectern and ask everyone to come up to the lectern to speak, so that people on Zoom could still see them and hear them. So maybe we can try that.
I had a hard time hearing that with an echo. Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah.
An echo.
But Angel, the problem is still our Heritage Hall do not have a Wi-Fi. So that's what Paul was saying, that somebody has to have an unlimited in their data plan.
I do have unlimited phone.
And a strong one.
Maybe to try it. I'll try it with you, Jerry, and see if you can hear us.
I would think video might be challenging.
Yeah, I think video is challenging. I think it'd be better to have 1 week in person and another week Zoom. I don't think I want to have to tackle any technical issues while we're in person. Once we're in person, I want to be focused on everybody that's there and not have to worry about people that are remote.
Yes.
I think that's cleaner and better.
Yes, I like that idea better.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's
Happy
bittersweet.
for you, sad for us.
It's bittersweet.
And then that way
Yeah.
Jerry can join us when we are on Zoom.
Yeah, I can still join you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
And
so
Jessie can join us too, because she's in Newport.
Yeah,
Yay.
or so I can drive down once in a while, but not every Friday. And so
right.
I'll
Well,
be-
I think it's going to be kind of a hybrid approach in the beginning anyway. So that brings us to our next question as far as our next in-person meeting. I was going to have I think we were talking about next week or the week after. I would prefer the week after, just so that it gives me more time to receive the pathway pins that I'm hoping to get in the mail so that we can present it. But I also want a good turnout too. I do have a little survey to see who can attend, but we do have a limited number right now, but okay, let's just do that. If you can answer these questions, just so I can get a general idea. Okay, cool. Let's do Friday the 23rd then. Does everybody see the response or is it just me? Do you
Well,
all see the?
I can see it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so let's do the 23rd. And it will be probably outside at the park if the Heritage Hall isn't open. And we'll figure out the details in another email. I'll send that out. Any questions or anything that you guys want to bring up? We do have the next term opening up in July. So this is April, so we have a couple months. Please consider taking a position for the board. All the positions are going to be open. So that means president, VP, PR, VP of membership, VP of education, and secretary, sergeant of arms. I would encourage you to do any position that you feel that you'd like to try out. And there's also a lot of support in our group too. So we have people that have done all positions and would be happy to help. Okay, I think with that, good meeting you guys. It's a smaller amount, but still really good, substantial information, good exchange, and good practice on our Toastmasters skills. So go out there, have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Appreciate all of you, and see you next time.
Yeah, appreciate
Bye.
you.